The silence of space surrounded the small outpost station where Kevin Mitchell now lived. 6 months had passed since Earth had left the Galactic Council. Kevin stared out the viewport at the distant stars, remembering the day when he was no longer Earth's ambassador but just another human in exile. His small living quarters were simple: a bed, a desk with screens, and little else. Kevin had chosen this life. After Earth cut ties, he couldn't go home. Too many aliens knew his face. Too many humans thought he had failed them. The alert sound from his secure terminal broke the silence. Kevin moved quickly to the desk. A message, encrypted. Few people knew how to reach him here. Identity confirmed. Admiral Olivia Warren, said the computer voice. Kevin felt surprise. Admiral Warren now led Earth's independent fleet. They had worked together during the final days before Earth's departure. The message opened, showing Olivia's face. She looked tired but determined. "Kevin, I hope this finds you safe," she began. "I shouldn't be contacting you, but you deserve to know. Project Sentinel is proceeding faster than expected. The President believes we'll be ready in 3 months instead of 6. Kevin leaned closer to the screen. Project Sentinel, the secret initiative that had been the final reason for Earth's departure. "The Council doesn't know what we're building," Olivia continued. "But they're getting nervous. Our intelligence shows increased fleet movements near the border systems. They're scared, Kevin. And scared people make dangerous choices." The message continued with details about Earth's new defense systems. Kevin took notes, his mind racing. If Project Sentinel succeeded, the balance of power in the galaxy would change forever. As Olivia's message ended, Kevin sat back in his chair. He needed to warn some of his old contacts. Not about Project Sentinel specifically, but that they should prepare for more changes soon. Across the galaxy, on the Galactic Council's central world, representatives from 27 spacefaring civilizations argued loudly in the Grand Chamber. "Order. We will have order," shouted High Counselor Zex, his blue skin darkening with stress. The arguing continued. Finally, he slammed his ceremonial staff on the floor 3 times. The sound echoed, and the chamber grew quiet. "The Economic Committee will now present their findings on the impact of Earth's departure," Zex announced. A thin, tall alien with gray skin approached the central platform. Economic Director Trell adjusted his translator. "The situation is worse than predicted," Trell began. 6 months without Earth's resources has created shortages in 12 key sectors. Prices for medicine have increased by 200%. Food supplies on 8 worlds have reached critical levels. Murmurs filled the room. Earth had been a major supplier of agricultural products, medicines, and certain rare minerals. Their sudden departure had left many worlds struggling. "Worse still," Trell continued, "our military assessment indicates Earth has been building up their fleet and defense systems. They now deny access to any Council ships within 2 light-years of their system." Representative Malk of the warrior Dreth species stood up without permission. "Then we should force our way in. The humans cannot be allowed to threaten us with their isolation." Several representatives shouted agreement while others protested. High Counselor Zex looked tired. "We will not decide on military action today, but we must address the resource crisis. I propose we form a special committee to develop alternative supply sources." The voting was quick. The committee would be formed, but everyone in the chamber knew finding replacements for Earth's exports would take years, not months. As the session ended, Zex walked slowly to his private chamber. His assistant waited with more bad news. "Sir, we've received reports that the Axari Collective has opened direct negotiations with Earth. They're ignoring the Council's trade embargo." Zex sighed deeply. It was starting. The Council was beginning to fracture, and Earth's silence only made the fear grow stronger. Marcus Ellis moved silently through the shadows of the Earth outpost. His breathing was calm and measured despite the danger. As a Council special operative, he had trained for missions like this, but infiltrating a human facility was different. Humans were unpredictable. The outpost on Europa, one of Jupiter's moons, was supposedly a mining facility. Council intelligence suggested otherwise. Marcus needed to find proof of what Earth was really doing here. He slipped past a patrol and made his way to a secure door. His scanner device made quick work of the lock. Inside was a small monitoring station with screens showing different parts of the facility. Marcus plugged in his data collector and started copying files. "I wouldn't do that if I were you," said a calm voice behind him. Marcus froze. He hadn't heard anyone enter. He turned slowly to see a woman in an Earth security uniform. Her weapon pointed steadily at his chest. Her name tag read, Patel. "Officer Lisa Patel, I presume," Marcus said, raising his hands. "I can explain." "Save it. I know your council intelligence," Lisa said, "but I'm not going to shoot you. I'm going to help you." Marcus blinked in surprise. "Help me? Why would an Earth security officer help a council spy?" Lisa lowered her weapon slightly. "Because not all of us agree with cutting ties. Some of us think isolation is a mistake." She glanced at the door. "We don't have much time. What are you looking for?" "Information about Project Sentinel," Marcus said, testing her. Lisa's eyes widened. "Then you already know more than most humans." She disconnected his data collector and inserted her own. "I'll give you something better than what you were stealing, but you need to take me with you when you leave." Marcus watched as she quickly transferred files. "Why should I trust you?" "You shouldn't," Lisa said simply. "But we both want the same thing, to prevent a war." The data transfer completed. Lisa handed him the small device. "This shows Council military movements near our borders. Ships gathering, more than they're admitting to their own people." Marcus took the device cautiously. "If this is true." "It is. And there's more." Lisa checked the time. 3 days ago, Ambassador Zor of the Xilari was assassinated. The Council is blaming Earth operatives. "I hadn't heard about this," Marcus said, frowning. "It's being kept quiet, but it's pushing both sides closer to conflict." Lisa moved toward the door. "We need to go. My security codes will get us to the shuttle bay." As they moved through the corridors, an alarm suddenly blared. Red lights flashed throughout the facility. "That's not for us," Lisa said, looking at her comm device. "Something's happening at the main lab." They changed direction, moving toward a viewing area overlooking a large laboratory space. Below them, scientists worked frantically around a large device that pulsed with blue energy. "What is that?" Marcus whispered. "Part of Project Sentinel," Lisa answered. "They're testing the dimensional bridge." The device below them glowed brighter. A small tear seemed to appear in the air above it. Through the tear, Marcus could see something. Another place, not like any world he knew. Suddenly, the tear expanded. Scientists shouted. Equipment exploded. The viewing glass in front of Marcus and Lisa cracked. "We need to leave. Now." Lisa pulled him away as the facility shook. They ran toward the shuttle bay, passing panicked workers. No one paid attention to them in the chaos. They reached a small scout ship, and Lisa quickly began the launch sequence. "Both Earth and the Council will hunt us now," Marcus said as they strapped in. Lisa nodded as the ship lifted off. "Yes, but we have something they both need." The small ship accelerated away from Europa, just as a massive energy surge erupted from the facility they had left behind. "Where to?" Marcus asked. "I know someone who can help us make sense of this," Lisa replied. "A former ambassador who lives in exile. Kevin Mitchell." Dr. Alan Frost stared at the data on his screen. The results were clear, but he could hardly believe them. His team had done it. They had proven that parallel dimensions could be accessed, and more importantly, that resources could be brought back. Alan rubbed his tired eyes. The laboratory hidden beneath Europa's ice was the most advanced research facility humans had ever built. 50 of Earth's best scientists worked here, all focused on one goal: making Earth completely independent from the rest of the galaxy. "Dr. Frost, you need to see this," called Samantha Green, his top assistant. She pointed to another screen showing energy readings from their latest test. The bridge stayed open for 7 seconds. Samantha said excitedly, "That's 3 seconds longer than our previous attempt." Elan nodded. "And material transfer." The probe sent back 15 seconds of data before we lost connection. But look at these mineral readings. She pulled up a chart. These elements don't exist in our universe, at least not in these forms. Ellen felt a mix of excitement and fear. If they could mine resources from parallel dimensions, Earth would never need to trade with alien species again. They would have access to materials no other civilization possessed. "We need to update the president," Alan said. "This changes everything." Just then, the facility's security alarm activated. Red lights flashed throughout the lab. "What's happening?" Alan asked, moving quickly to the main console. "Security breach in Sector 7, replied the computer. "And unauthorized shuttle launch from Bay 3. Alan frowned. "Show me the security footage." The screen displayed a woman in Earth security uniform and a man he didn't recognize boarding a small shuttle. The man wasn't wearing an Earth uniform. "Freeze image," Alan commanded. "Enhance face." The computer zoomed in on the man's face. Alan's blood ran cold. He recognized the features of a council operative. "Lock down all data systems," Alan ordered, "and contact Admiral Warren immediately." On the other side of the galaxy, Dr. Nara Ket adjusted her environment suit. As a Priam, she needed different air than humans to breathe. The small council science vessel had been following unusual energy readings for weeks. "Doctor, we've confirmed the source," said her assistant. "The energy signature matches the patterns we detected from Earth's system." Nara moved to the sensor display. The readings were strange. Energy patterns that seemed to fold in on themselves. Physics that shouldn't be possible. "They're trying to breach dimensional barriers," she said quietly. "This is worse than we feared." Nara was one of the few council scientists who understood what humans were attempting. Years ago, she had worked briefly with human physicists before Earth cut ties. She knew their theories about parallel dimensions. "If they succeed," Nara continued, "and they don't take proper precautions, they could tear open permanent rifts between dimensions." "What would that mean?" asked her assistant. "Imagine universes bleeding into each other, laws of physics breaking down. Entire star systems could collapse." Nara's normally calm voice trembled slightly. "We need to warn the council." She moved to the communication station and began recording a message. "High Counselor Zex, I have urgent information regarding Earth's activities. They appear to be developing technology to access parallel dimensions. Based on our readings, they've made significant progress." Nara paused, considering her next words carefully. "This technology poses an existential threat to our entire universe, if misused or if something goes wrong. I recommend immediate diplomatic contact with Earth to discuss safety protocols. If they refuse, more drastic measures may be necessary." As she finished recording, the ship's sensors detected a new energy surge from the direction they had been monitoring. "Another breach," Nara whispered. "They're getting stronger." She stared at the readings, her scientific mind racing through calculations. "Send the message to the council immediately," she ordered, "and prepare to move closer to the source. We need more detailed readings." As the message transmitted, Nara wondered if Earth truly understood what forces they were playing with. Dimensional physics wasn't just dangerous. It could be apocalyptic in the wrong hands, or with the wrong accident. And accidents, Nara knew, were inevitable when exploring unknown science. Susan Rivera adjusted her hood as she walked through the crowded alien market on Nexus Station. Though humans were rare here since Earth's withdrawal from the Council, no one paid much attention to her. She had learned to blend in. Susan had once been Earth's deputy ambassador to the Galactic Council. Now she ran a network of human agents who maintained unofficial connections with aliens still friendly to humans. Earth's government didn't officially know about her operation, or at least they pretended not to know. She stopped at a small shop selling drinks and ordered something that wouldn't poison her human biology. The green liquid tasted like mint and something she couldn't identify. As she sipped, a tall, thin alien with pale blue skin sat down beside her. "The weather on Crix Prime has been unusually warm," the alien said quietly. Susan nodded. "Yes, I hear the second moon is causing tidal changes." The exchange of code phrases complete, she looked at her contact. "You're taking a big risk meeting me in public, Representative Thorm." Thorm, a mid-level member of the Galactic Council's diplomatic corps, looked nervous. "The situation has changed. I had to warn you directly." "What's happening?" Susan asked, keeping her voice low. "The War Hawks are gaining power in the Council. 3 more species have joined their coalition this week." Thorm's large eyes darted around the market. "They're pushing for military action against Earth." Susan felt her heart beat faster, but kept her face calm. "On what grounds?" "The assassination of Ambassador Zor has given them the excuse they needed, and there are rumors about dangerous technology Earth is developing." Thorm leaned closer. "Is it true? The dimensional research?" Susan didn't answer directly. "Earth only wants to be left alone. We have no aggressive intentions." "That may not matter anymore," Thorm said. "The Council's Economic Committee presented new data yesterday. Without Earth's resources and trade, 12 systems are facing complete economic collapse within months. 6 more will follow by next year." Susan frowned. That wasn't supposed to happen. The models showed the galaxy could adjust. "The models were wrong," Thorm interrupted. "Or perhaps they were right, but nobody counted on panic and hoarding. Prices for basic goods have tripled in some sectors. There were food riots on Bellis Prime last week." Susan took another sip of her drink, mind racing. Earth's withdrawal was meant to protect humanity, not cause galaxy-wide suffering. "There's more," Thorm continued. "The Razak Confederation has pledged their fleet to the Council. So have the Vex and the Orions." Susan set her cup down hard. "The Orions? They were our closest allies. They're scared. Everyone is." Thorm's voice became even quieter. "I've seen the military assessments. They're planning a diplomatic mission to Earth backed by over 200 warships. They'll demand Earth rejoin the Council under new, stricter terms." "Or what?" Susan asked. "Or they'll force compliance. They're calling it Operation Restore Balance." Susan stood up. "I need to warn Earth immediately." Thorm grabbed her arm gently. "Be careful. Council agents are watching all communication channels. And Susan, not everyone on the Council supports this plan. Some of us still believe in peace." Susan nodded. "Thank you, Thorm. Get somewhere safe. This could get ugly fast." As she walked away, Susan activated her secure comm unit, hidden as a simple bracelet. She needed to reach her most trusted agents. They had to get this information to Earth before the Council fleet launched. She also needed to contact an old friend, former Ambassador Kevin Mitchell. If anyone could help prevent this situation from exploding into war, it would be him. As Susan disappeared into the crowd, she didn't notice the small drone that detached from the market ceiling and followed her. On the drone's side was the insignia of Council security forces. Her meeting hadn't been as secret as she thought. Time was running out for both Susan and for peace in the galaxy. Commander Jack Harrison stood on the bridge of the Defiance, Earth's newest and most powerful warship. Through the massive view screen, he watched as small fighter craft practiced combat maneuvers against drone targets. The fighters moved with incredible speed and precision. "All squadrons performing above expected parameters, sir," reported his second-in-command, Laura Vega. "The new engine designs are giving us a 30% increase in acceleration." Jack nodded with satisfaction. In the 6 months since Earth had left the Galactic Council, their military technology had advanced rapidly. Without Council restrictions on research, Earth's scientists had developed weapons and defenses that would have been illegal under Council law. "Begin the shield test," Jack ordered. Laura relayed the command. In space ahead of them, a larger drone ship appeared and positioned itself in front of a small asteroid. The drone powered up its weapons, standard Council-level technology, and fired at full strength. The beam hit a previously invisible barrier 500 meters in front of the asteroid. The shield flared blue for a moment, then stabilized. The asteroid remained untouched. Shield holding at 97% capacity, Laura announced. That's a direct hit from a Class 5 energy weapon. Jack allowed himself a small smile. A Class 5 weapon that would have destroyed any Earth ship 6 months ago. "Sir," called the communications officer. "Incoming message from Earth Command. Priority 1. Put it through to my ready room," Jack replied, then turned to Laura. "Continue the tests. I want to see how the shields handle multiple attacks." In his private office, Jack activated the secure terminal. Admiral Olivia Warren's face appeared on screen. "Commander Harrison, we have a situation," she said without preamble. "Our deep space sensors have detected a small Council scout fleet approaching the Kuiper Belt." Jack frowned. "Inside our defensive perimeter." "Just barely. 5 vessels, moving slowly. They appear to be scanning our outer system." Olivia's expression was grim. "This is the 3rd probe in 2 weeks. They're testing our borders, seeing how we respond." "Recommendations?" Jack asked. "Activate the Orpheus system. Non-lethal response only. We want to send a message, not start a war." Jack nodded. "Understood, Admiral. Anything else?" "Yes." Olivia hesitated. "General Blackwood is pushing hard for preemptive strikes against Council worlds. He has support from several military leaders." Jack felt a chill. Ryan Blackwood commanded Earth's Mars Defense Force and was known for his aggressive tactics. What's President Frost saying? "She's resisting for now, but pressure is building, especially after that security breach on Europa." Olivia sighed. "The dimensional research is advancing faster than expected. Some believe we should strike before the Council discovers what we're developing." "That would be a mistake," Jack said firmly. "If we attack first, we'll lose any moral high ground. The neutral species would side with the Council." "I agree. That's why I need the Defiance ready. If diplomacy fails, your ship will be our first line of defense." Olivia looked tired. "The President is addressing the United Earth government tomorrow. Her decision on our next steps will come after that." "We'll be ready, Admiral." Harrison out. As the screen went dark, Jack returned to the bridge. The weapons test was continuing, with multiple drones now firing at the shield. "Status?" he asked Laura. "Shield holding at 89% after simultaneous hits from 3 Class 5 weapons," she reported with pride. Jack nodded and looked back at the view screen. Earth's new defenses were impressive, but would they be enough if the entire Council fleet attacked? And more importantly, should Earth wait to find out, or strike first as General Blackwood suggested? Jack didn't have the answers. But as he watched Earth's new fighters destroy target after target with ease, he understood why some military leaders felt confident enough to consider offensive action. Earth was no longer the technological underdog it had been in the Council. For better or worse, humanity had become a power that could stand alone. The abandoned mining station floated silently at the edge of a small asteroid field. Once it had processed valuable minerals for the Council. Now it served as a meeting place for those who wished to avoid official attention. Marcus Ellis checked the scanner again as their small shuttle approached. No other ships detected. "Looks clear." Lisa nodded and guided their vessel into a docking bay that had seen better days. The airlock hissed as it created a seal with the station. "He's here," Lisa said, pointing to a small green light blinking near the inner door. They stepped through into the dim lighting of the station. The air smelled stale but breathable. Kevin Mitchell waited for them in what once had been a control room, sitting calmly at a dusty table. "You made it," Kevin said, standing to greet them. "I wasn't sure you would after what happened on Europa." Marcus looked surprised. "You know about that. News travels fast, even to those in exile." Kevin gestured for them to sit. "Earth security is searching for both of you. So is Council intelligence. Lisa placed a small data device on the table. We brought everything we could gather. It's not much, but it might be enough, Kevin interrupted. Combined with what I've collected, we might finally see the full picture. Kevin activated a holographic display in the center of the table. Images and text floated in the air between them. For months, I've been tracking something unusual, Kevin explained. Patterns that didn't make sense. Communications that shouldn't exist. Marcus leaned forward. Between Earth and the Council. Yes, but not official channels. Kevin manipulated the display, showing encrypted message logs. Someone has been communicating between both sides, even after Earth cut ties. Someone with high-level access. Lisa frowned. Spies. Something more organized. Kevin pressed a button on Lisa's data device, adding its information to the display. New connections formed in the hologram. There. Do you see it now? Marcus studied the pattern. These communications, they align with key events. The trade disputes that started the problems between Earth and the Council. The resource crisis that followed. Even the assassination of Ambassador Zor. Exactly, Kevin said. None of it was accidental. It was orchestrated. Lisa looked confused. By who? And why? Kevin's face was grim. They call themselves Ascension Protocol. A group with members in both Earth's government and among Council species. I've traced communications to at least 4 Council worlds and 3 Earth ministries. He altered the display again, showing a symbol. A spiral galaxy with a vertical line through its center. Their goal seems to be forcing humanity into isolation, creating conflict between Earth and the galaxy. Kevin pointed to specific data points. They manipulated trade agreements to exploit Earth, then encourage Earth's withdrawal from the Council. Marcus stood up and paced the room. But that makes no sense. Why would Council members want Earth to leave? It's caused an economic disaster. Because it's not about economics, Kevin replied. It's about evolution. According to messages I've intercepted, they believe humanity will only reach its full potential through conflict and isolation. They're pushing us toward war. Lisa picked up her data device, examining the new connections. The dimensional research. Project Sentinel. Is that part of their plan too? Kevin nodded slowly. I think so. Either they influenced its development, or they're taking advantage of it. Either way, if Earth deploys this technology, and the Council responds with military force, millions will die. Marcus finished. A silence fell over the room as they considered the implications. We need to expose them, Lisa finally said. Show both sides they're being manipulated. Kevin looked doubtful. With what proof? We have patterns and suspicions, but no names of high-level members, no smoking gun. Marcus straightened, his jaw set with determination. Then we'll find it. Council intelligence taught me how to hunt secrets. If this Ascension protocol exists, they must leave traces. Where do we start? Lisa asked. Kevin adjusted the hologram again, focusing on one blinking point. Here. A supply ship headed for Saturn's moons in 3 days. According to the patterns, it's carrying something important, something that might give us the evidence we need. Marcus nodded. Then that's our next move. But we'll need help. I know someone, Kevin said. A former diplomat who still has connections. Susan Rivera. As they began planning their mission, none of them noticed the small maintenance drone in the corner of the room, its camera focused directly on their meeting. The great chamber of the Galactic Council had never been so divided. What had once been a place of order was now filled with angry voices and accusations. High Counselor Zex watched from his elevated seat as representatives from 27 species argued below. Silence. Zex finally shouted, his voice amplified through the room. The noise slowly died down. We must make decisions, not shout at each other, Zex continued. Earth's actions threaten us all, but we disagree on how to respond. The Council had split into 3 clear groups. The militants, led by the warrior Dreth species, demanded immediate military action against Earth. The diplomats, mostly long-standing council members, sought renewed negotiations. The isolationists wanted to cut all ties and let Earth face the consequences alone. Representative Malk of the Dreth stood. Earth's dimensional research must be stopped. Our intelligence shows they are close to a breakthrough that could threaten the entire galaxy. We have no proof of aggressive intent, countered Ambassador Lyra of the peaceful Aelin. We should send diplomats, not warships. Before another argument could start, the doors to the chamber opened. Dr. Nara Kett entered, walking quickly to the central speaking platform. "Forgive my interruption," she said, her voice calm but urgent. "But the Council must hear new information about Earth's research." Zex nodded for her to continue. Nara activated a holographic display that showed complex energy patterns. "My team has analyzed the dimensional breaches Earth has created," she explained. "The results are troubling. These breaches are becoming larger and more stable with each test." The chamber grew quiet as Nara continued. "If they succeed in creating a permanent gateway between dimensions, the consequences could be catastrophic. The barriers between realities were not meant to be broken." "What exactly would happen?" asked a representative from the back. Nara's expression was grave. "In the worst case, dimensional collapse, regions of space where our physical laws break down. Entire star systems could be destroyed." Murmurs of fear spread through the chamber. "The risk is too great," declared Malk. "We must stop them before it's too late." Zex raised his hand for silence. "What do you recommend, Dr. Kett?" "A scientific delegation should approach Earth immediately. Offer cooperation to ensure safety protocols. If they refuse," she hesitated, "then more direct intervention may be necessary." As the debate continued, a side door opened. Council Security Chief Drax entered and whispered something to Zex. The High Counselor's expression darkened. "The Council will recess for 1 hour," Zex announced suddenly. In a private chamber, Drax showed Zex a secure data tablet. "Our agents intercepted this communication. 3 former Earth officials are investigating something called Ascension Protocol. They claim Earth and the Council are being manipulated." Zex studied the information. "Is there any truth to this?" "Unknown," Drax admitted. "But we've detected unusual communication patterns among certain Council members. And the timing of Ambassador Zor's assassination was convenient for those pushing for war." Zex felt suddenly tired. What a mess. Earth developing dangerous technology, possible conspiracies within our own ranks, and the galaxy on the brink of economic collapse. "What are your orders?" Drax asked. Zex thought for a long moment. "Mobilize the fleet. Position it near Sol system, but do not enter Earth territory without direct orders. And the possible conspiracy. Investigate quietly. If there is manipulation happening, I want to know who and why." As Zex returned to the Council chamber, his communicator beeped. A message appeared. "High Counselor, the Borean and Nexus systems wish to open separate peace negotiations with Earth. 3 others are considering the same." Zex closed his eyes briefly. The Council was starting to break apart. Some species were clearly deciding that separate agreements with Earth were better than waiting for Council action. When he re-entered the chamber, Zex made his announcement. "We will send Earth one final message. They must agree to Council oversight of their dimensional research and rejoin the galactic community under strict controls." "And if they refuse?" asked Malk. "Then the fleet will enforce our decision," Zex said heavily. "For the safety of all." The vote was not unanimous, but the majority supported the plan. The ultimatum would be sent to Earth within the day. President Diana Frost stood at the window of her office in the United Earth Government building. From here, she could see the gleaming towers of New Geneva, where humanity now centered its government. The city sparkled in the morning light, a symbol of Earth's new independence. A soft tone announced the arrival of her advisors. Diana turned to face them as they entered. "The Council fleet has been detected approaching the outer system," Admiral Olivia Warren reported. Over 200 warships, just as our intelligence predicted. And Project Sentinel? Diana asked. Dr. Alan Frost stepped forward. Ready, Madam President. All 7 gateway stations are in position and operational. Diana nodded. Then it's time. She moved to her desk and pressed a button. Begin the broadcast. All channels, all languages, across the entire galaxy. In a moment, Diana's face appeared on communication devices throughout Earth's system and beyond, reaching every council world and independent colony. People of the galaxy, she began. I am President Diana Frost of United Earth. For too long, humanity was treated as a junior partner in the galactic community, our resources exploited, our technology restricted. 6 months ago, we chose independence rather than continued unfair treatment. She paused, letting her words sink in. Today, the Council sends warships to force our compliance. They believe Earth can be frightened back into submission. They are wrong. The image change, showing the space around Earth's system. 7 massive structures could be seen, positioned at strategic points. Each began to glow with blue energy. This is Project Sentinel, Diana continued as the image returned to her. A network of dimensional gateways that give Earth access to resources beyond our universe. We no longer need the Council's trade or approval to prosper. Aboard the Lid Council warship, High Counselor Zex watched the broadcast with growing concern. Beside him, Dr. Nara Ket monitored readings from the dimensional gateways. They've done it, Nara whispered. Stable connections to parallel dimensions. Before Zex could respond, the ship's communication officer called out. Sir, we're receiving a transmission from Earth Security Officer Lisa Patel, Council Operative Marcus Ellis, and former Ambassador Kevin Mitchell. Zex frowned. Put it through. The 3 appeared on screen, looking tired but determined. High Counselor, Kevin began. We have evidence that both Earth and the Council have been manipulated by a group called Ascension Protocol. The conflict between our peoples was engineered. Kevin quickly explained their findings while transmitting data files. Zex reviewed the information, his expression darkening. These communications, they implicate members of my own staff. He looked up. And several Earth officials. Yes, Marcus confirmed. They wanted war between Earth and the Council. They still do. On Earth, Diana continued her address as an aide handed her a data tablet. She scanned it quickly, her eyes widening slightly before she composed herself. I have just received confirmation of something we have suspected. Forces within both Earth and the Council have worked to drive us apart. Today, we reject their manipulation. She straightened, speaking with renewed conviction. Earth offers a new beginning. We will share limited dimensional technology with peaceful worlds in exchange for fair partnerships, not as subjects of the Council, but as equals in a new galactic order. The broadcast ended, and Diana turned to her advisors. Contact the Council fleet. Tell them we are willing to negotiate directly with High Counselor Zex, but the fleet must withdraw to a safe distance first. In a hidden facility on Mars, a figure watched both broadcasts with cold amusement. The leader of Ascension Protocol turned to a small group of human and alien followers. Everything proceeds according to plan, they said calmly. The dimensional gateways are active. The conflict has brought humanity to new technological heights, and now both sides discover our existence exactly when we intended. They moved to a strange device covered with symbols from a dozen alien cultures. It hummed with power as they activated it. Phase 2 is complete. Earth has evolved beyond our expectations. The leader smiled. Begin Phase 3. The true ascension awaits. The device glowed with energy unlike anything seen in this universe. Whatever Ascension Protocol had planned for humanity and the galaxy, it was only beginning.